Okay, let's check the sound. It seems working fine. I've got a couple of minutes to officially start the stream. Hello everyone, the Victoria is here. Okay, now according to my watch, it's 7 past 10. The Victoria is here and welcome everybody. Last week I created a keyboard computer kind of thing, and I figured that in this stream I'm going to convert my creation into a proper mesh, texturing it and render it. So if you are opening CSDF a file, I mean what you had created with the ConjureSDF, this is what it waits for you. However, if you go to the render view, everything is going to be fine. In order to convert this to a mesh, oh, by the way, I have to mention that I added some details to it and I removed these metal pins from here. I figured I am going to add them later. I created some jack input for the audio, a mini screen here, and a company logo. And now I decided, now I realize what I have forgotten. So let me just check. So the official name of this computer is Circuon. I consulted with, oh, sorry. Sorry about the starting soon. I consulted with ChatGPT and it suggested me this name. So this is going to be the computer's name. And since ConjureSDF does not support fonts for the time being, I created these fonts from primitives. It's not that complicated. The C is just cylinder. Let me just show you somewhere around here. This is just a cylinder. I removed another smaller cylinder and a box. So this is this C letter. This is just another cylinder. The N is just a couple of boxes together intersected with another box. And also this has this inset operation type. So it's nightly inset, and this one is just a couple of cylinders. Inset operation type is quite interesting because if you add the solidify and add some thickness, it's only just removes just the shell of the cylinder, this thick shell of a cylinder, which is a really nice feature. And I also added this screen here. So I don't know how much the starting soon banner has covered from my screen. So this is how this computer is looking now. And I had a problem with the back because it wasn't rounding nicely. And as it turned out, this box didn't have a bevel, and I added to it, and then it rounds nicely too. So this is cool and awesome. Now, how the hell can we convert this into a mesh? So first of all, the add-on complains that the modern GL is not found. I am using Linux, Ubuntu to be precise, and if I close a Blender file and reopen it, even though I installed the modern GL, somehow it just doesn't recognize that it installed it. So in this case, what I can do is to install the modern GL. And also in the description of this video, you can find some instructions what you can do in case you have in case you are using Ubuntu just like me, what kind of symbolic links you should create in order to make a modern GL work. So now just the missing bounds is the problem. So let's add some bounds and let's reduce it because this is too big. I'm pressing the G key. Let me just turn on the screencast key so that at least in Blender you can see my screencasts. Where are those? It doesn't appear. I don't know why. Now it appeared. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should have started a different screencast because we are going to do some texturing in Inkscape and that one doesn't have an add-on. So I'm moving these empties around just to make sure that ConjureSDF knows how large this cube is, the area that it has to convert into a mesh. I've experimented a bit before, and if I set the density to 600, it creates an okay conversion. Not perfect, but okay. So let's click on generate the high poly. Now it thinks a bit and then it creates some kind of mesh parts. The progress indicator is kind of quite interesting in this one. It takes a bit of time, but since we need a millimeter precision for this, we still need this. So these measurements are in centimeters because I set the length in centimeters. So now we've got a bunch of chunks here. I'm going to set the smoothing iteration to 1 and the decimate, you know what, let's leave it at 0.25. We are not using the world mirror. So let's clean up the mesh chunks. That takes a bit of time because we have lots of voxels. Okay, now it is done, and what it has created, let me just pull this aside, this guy here, and let's check. So we've got this decimate. Let's turn this off for a second. And we've got this smooth. Let's turn off this too. And now we've got this voxel remesh. This is what I used when I was practicing. We can check out now what happens if I made the voxel size to be 0.1. The calculation takes a bit of time. Yeah, it improved a bit. You know what, let's leave it like this. Because I like that the logo is what is this emboss is nicer looking in this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this. Okay, let's turn on the smooth modifier too. Okay, now it's on. Let's apply this one too. And let's leave the decimate like so, and let's Okay, I was drinking a bit of lemonade actually. Oh my god, I hope I wasn't muted. Jesus. I might have muted myself. I'm sorry about that. The caps lock key is the mute on my keyboard, and I might have accidentally muted myself, and now everything is like messed up with my settings. But anyway, hopefully one day I'm going to be a professional streamer and not making such mistakes. So this one is the 0.25. This is pretty decent, but the mesh is quite dense here. Let's check the 0.1. This is pretty good. I kind of like this. And this one isn't bad either. I think still every detail seems to be visible. Let's go to object mode, and I'm trying to figure out if there is any difference between these letters. If one is more detailed than the other. And to be honest, there is a little bit of a error here. But I think we can keep this guy here. So let's delete the other ones and let's Alt G. This one here. Okay. I just changed something with my setup here. Oh god. I hope I didn't mute it myself. But anyways, this is nice. However, as you can see how looks. This rounding is not as beautiful as when you are rounding with Blender. So is what it is. This is what we kind of have to deal with. And also I deleted these metal thingies here. Let's add just one little quick. This one should be like 0.2 or 0.4, 0.8 or so, and 1 centimeter. Let's move it around. Oh, I do apologize. Sorry, the X dimension is 1, the Z dimension is 0.4. Let's hit Ctrl 3. I forget to install the keyboard displayer add-on. I do apologize for that. And let's move it around the Z. Let's make it 2 centimeters. And let's push it inwards. And let's apply the scale first. And I think I'm going to add a bevel modifier. This is going to be like 0.05 centimeters. And let's make it like so. or maybe one more, yes. And actually, this is kind of what I meant. Even if I apply this now, as you can see, the topology of the bevel is quite clear. Unlike here, it's a mess. As you can see, it's a mess. To be honest, as far as I know, in WOMP, for example, let's parent this to this guy. Object keep transform. There is a topology preserving exporter, but I haven't tried that one. I don't know if in ConjureSDF the remeshing is going to be better. The similar situation stands for FreeCAD as well. Maybe there is a quadrimesher add-on which could create a better job of like remeshing this into a better topology. I have no idea. But let's move on. I want this to be textured, and not just a simple texture, but I would like to add letters to this keyboard, which is going to be like an emission shader, and I would like to add some information to this. In my mind, this is a touch display kind of thing. I would like to add that. I'm not going to add this method details to the back because that is not going to be visible in the render. So what can I do? What can I do? Let's go to this lovely UV editing workspace. And let's select everything, and let's select this Smart UV project. And let's unwrap this map, add, and let's make the island margin 0.01. And let's check upon, and yeah, the next step is I want to create the seams from these islands. And now there are some weird things happening which I don't really like. I added the clear seam into my quick favorites, so I would like to remove some of these crazinesses. Clear seam. Let's go. I'm not sure if I can select those in wireframe. I think probably this weird. Oh, yeah, I know how I did that. Let's press the L key and no, this is not how I created. I was able to remove these weird seams by just selecting these things. I don't really know why that is. Here and there are some issues with selecting those weird stuff here. To be honest, these are the two areas that is kind of the most interesting for me, and I want the UV to be cool. Yeah, I think probably the Decimate modifier is like ruined some stuff. Let's see if there is anywhere else this sort of things. Okay. Now everything seems to be fine. Now what I would like to do, since I want this display I'm going to press 3, which put me into face select mode. And let's just select all of these faces. Yeah, I kind of hope that I kind of selected the area that is going to be the display. And I'm going to select the boundary loop. Select boundary loop. And I'm going to mark as seam. And now what I am going to do, I'm going to unwrap this as angle based. It takes a bit of time. Okay, this is kind of a weird result, but to be honest, I don't really care because what I'm really interested in oh god, there are some mess here. Where is this? Oh, there are some seams left. Well, you know what? I don't care. I kind of hope around these keyboards there are nothing here, which is like could cause a problem. So let's select this and let's select this. Let's move these aside and let's hit all. And I'm not really planning on putting on any texture on this. So I'm going to just scale them and move this aside. Let's check the median point R 90 minus. And I'm going to put this here, R 90. And I'm going to put this here. And in the meantime, I had created a material for this guy, but let's grab this checker thing here because I want to make sure that the textures are displayed nicely. So this is okay. And now let's just scale this up so that it is going to take up as much area as possible in this texture space. Okay, I am liking this very much. And let's grab the rest of the textures. Oh, hello! Someone is watching this video. Welcome! We are going to render this keyboard computer that I created during the last live stream. So if you have questions or something not clear, just ask me a question. So, okay. Now this is cool and awesome. And also what I want to do is to press everything and export this UV layout. And what I'm going to do is, sorry, the textures, keyboard computer UV, export all UVs. okay, because this is going to come handy for the texturing of this guy here. And let's leave Blender alone. And let's go back to my lovely Inkscape file. I like the idea of doing this with a vector graphic software. However, when I practice this, I used a different UV layout, and that has changed now. So I have to rearrange everything, but hopefully that doesn't take much time. So let's hide the display, let's hide the keyboard now, and let's deal with the display here. And let's grab this rectangle. This one, I can delete this now. So let's grab this guy here and let's move it a bit away from this corner. Don't need the snapping here. And let's hold Control so that I can enlarge it. Yeah, I think I am liking this email message, which could activate the email program, music, volume, and some weather information. This is what this display is going to display. Show us the user. Now, let's do something similar with this keyboard that I had prepared. So roughly there is the control key, and let's grab the larger. Let's hit the control key and let's enlarge this guy here. Yeah, let's hit Control Z for a second. Yeah, unfortunately this is not perfect. But I think for the purpose of this demonstration, this will do. Let's adjust. Yeah, let's adjust this control key and let's make this larger in this way. Yeah, I think this one looks good to me. This one looks good to me. Let's check if everything is where it should be. There should be something here. Let's make it black, because I figured that would be nice if the space bar would have a line here. Okay. Now let's get back to this display area. I'm going to duplicate this rectangle by hitting the Ctrl D key, and I'm going to make this white because I would like to create a texture mask, one for which mask add the emission shader and the normal plastic shader that we are going to use for this keyboard computer. And let's turn this into white. And there are things that has to be a stroked object. Let's grab these guys And let's shift click here and normal click here. And let's turn on this background. So this is going to be the emission mask for our computer. Let's export this into this keyboard mask. Yes, replace it. Thank you very much. And now what I also need is to turn off this rectangle and export this as well. And this one is going to be the emission strength map. So let's replace this guy here. So we have prepared the textures. Now let's hook up this shader. So the surface is going to be this red plastic, and this is textures.com texture, which I downloaded like 1,000 years ago. This plastic polypropylene rough texture. I like this one quite very much. However, I would like to apply this as a projected texture because I want to use this object coordinates. And I am going to turn off this auto texture space and make it 0.5 so that it is going to be applied nicely without any stretching whatsoever. These lines are not coming from the wrong texture mapping. These lines are these little triangles. So unfortunately, I don't know if anything can be done with that thing here. But let's go back to the textured view. So that has been done now. Let's check upon our keyboard mask texture. This is the old one. I'm going to press the Alt-R key, or you can alternatively reload the image. And now, hopefully, let's stop out from this. We are going to mask out the texture properly. And let's check upon the mask strength. Let's press the Alt-R key. So this is looking okay. Yes. And now what we can do is to set up a very fancy lighting. And in order to do that, let's go into render view. In fact, I might do this in the shading view. However, I'm turning off the camera because I would like to change some things that I did when I practiced this. In the description of this video, you can find some additional video links. It's Martin Botvidsson. I hope I pronounce his name correctly. He did some excellent product photography videos on YouTube, and I learned a lot from him. And I want this lighting setup kind of inspired by his computer photography. So let's turn on this camera lights setup. So let's check upon Or you know what? Let's make this guy here just an or no. Let's turn this guy here the render view. Okay, fine. Sorry about that. Um so let's turn on the first spotlight. This spotlight is going to create some nice gradient on the left side of this computer. And the second spotlight is going to highlight this other area. Oh, and by the way, this is very important to note. I made the world background pitch black, so it won't affect our lighting setup here. The first spotlight is like all of them are this warm yellow color, and the power is 200 watts. And the second one is a bit lower light, but it gives a nice curvature to this area of this computer. However, the bottom part is kind of lost, so I added another spotlight here, which is supposed to create a nice edge here, and also this nice shade here, and add a bit of highlight to this logo here. And also, however, there is one trick that I did for this emission shader material, because I added a coat material, which is technically a clear coat that used on car paint. However, I wanted to simulate as if it were like a computer screen, hence I wanted to simulate as if it were some glossy screen, which might sound like as if I were wanting to torture myself, basically. So I added a plane here to block the light from the screen in order to make this nasty reflection disappear. And also, this plane, since we can do some magic, this however doesn't render for the camera. So this would be in real life, but this is what we can do with cheating a bit. Because in this way we don't have to like compose two images together. One this section for this computer screen and some other section for something else. And also there were some highlights when I was practicing from this lamp here. So I added another plane that blocks these weird highlights. This plane is here, and yet this is not visible to the camera. It's just cast some shadows, which hopefully, let me adjust this a bit. Let me just scale this. And let me move this a bit. Maybe a bit more far. Yeah, just so it blocks these highlights here. Maybe, yeah, maybe this way. It might be look nice. Maybe if I move it a bit further from this object. Okay, now it's a bit too far. Then it might even cast a nicer looking shadow. So this is all good. However, I want to rotate this computer, and this is what I haven't done during the practice run. So let's add an empty. Let's make it some arrows, and let's grab all of these guys and let's leave the empty, and let's parent this to this empty. And now let's grab this empty and this computer, and let's parent the empty. In this way, if I rotate this computer, this whole lighting setup rotates with it, which I'm liking very much because I would like to rotate this computer. And something fancy, RY, like so. And let's turn on the global, RZ, and RX, maybe, RZ, something like that. Now let's turn on the camera and let's rotate it by 90 degrees. The camera setup is an 8mm lens. Sorry, let's turn on the camera view here. And when I was practicing, I was rotating the camera, but I was thinking that it was quite a limited setup. So let's increase the distance from this object here. What I would like to do is a bit of a hero shot. So that the camera looks up to this computer. However, in this way, I would like to rotate this computer a bit better. Perhaps like so. Not this one, this guy. Okay, let's rotate it by the y-axis. And not this one. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like this angle. This angle is the perfect angle. Okay, and let's move around a bit of this camera. Maybe a bit more angle and maybe a bit further down. Yeah. Okay. And what I haven't done either is that I haven't added a background. So add a plane. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees. And let's move it backwards. Let's scale it up. And I want to move it so far away that these lights won't affect it. And what I would like to do is add another light and a spotlight, and let's rotate it by 90. We will see, maybe probably we'll need it more. What am I doing here? Oh, where the hell is this going? Let's check. Oh, this plane is not even visible. Let's apply the rotation. And let's turn it toward. Let's move the camera lights. Let's make this pot blue so that I know, or green, or whatever. And like pretty strong, so that I can see what this is affecting. Sorry. Okay. Let me just turn on a rendered view for a second. By the way, I forget to mention I am using cycles. I didn't adjusted anything. Just the max samples for the viewport is 256 and 512 for the final render. And let's go back, and what I like to do is to like increase this fall off. Perhaps a bit less. And let's decrease this. Yeah, this is the effect I'm looking for, is to have like a nice gradient. Let's make it 25 degrees in the background. Yes, and maybe move it towards the left. Oh, yes. So that this thing is kind of floating in the dark. And now let's move this light towards the green, kind of making in sync with the computer's lights. But let's decrease just a bit. And also, what I could do is add another plane. Maybe I should activate this. And this is kind of a table. And let's move it down. Let's turn on wireframe for a second. Just so that it would barely touches this computer. Ah. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I think this looks good. Okay, I think this is now perfect. No, I should increase it a bit more. Let's make it 4:8 maybe. Ah, this is looking nice. Okay. And what I can try to experiment with it is move it out of the camera, perhaps. Oh yeah, because this is like a hero shot. We are not going to see this. You know what? In this case, I'm going to just forget it. Sorry about that, but I had to try. If we look down towards this computer, this could work. But since we are looking up, this might not work that much well. Okay, fine. Then this is going to be like a floating computer. And I kind of liking this very much. Just this spot color is... I don't like it. Make it a bit cooler. Yeah, I like this one much better. Let's hit a test render for this guy. And let's see what we had created. I think I should adjust this little plane because there are some nasty highlight over there. But we have some nice highlights on these. Kind of. Oh, and by the way, the render is social media 1080 and 1080. Yeah, I am kind of liking this. Maybe these lines can disappear a bit. Maybe I could work on that plane a bit more. And also, what I managed to forget to add some kind of metal material to this little thing here. I don't even sure if it's visible or not. Let's make it metallic. Let's make it quite not rough. Let's say 0.1 and let's make it some kind of grayish color. Yeah, looks nice. But to be honest, I'm not even sure if the... Yeah, it's visible. It's visible in the camera. But here somehow it doesn't because I think there isn't enough light to move over there, but I don't care. I'm sorry, it's not even metal because this is the USB's plastic thingy. Oh, this one is quite rough instead. Yeah. Or maybe let's make it blue, you know, that 2 point Bluetooth blue kind of thing. Yeah. Or maybe there is a green one now. I don't know. Maybe let's make it green so that it fits the aesthetic. Whatever. I think there is a green Bluetooth now. Oh. So, I think let's hit like a final render here. And I think I am... Oh, let's turn off this table render. Sorry about that. Let's hit the F12 again. Sorry, let's cancel this and let's hit the render again. And I think I am pleased with this render in this live stream. Maybe I'm going to adjust this covering plane here. But overall, and also this other plane, I don't really want to fiddle with it in this live stream because I don't want to waste your time. But you got the idea. How did I set up this render? I see some problem here. I shall look at it if it's just a highlight or some texturing error. But anyway, I am liking how this turned out. Perhaps these function keys could be a bit smaller, but the rest of the keyboard is fine. So I hope you have enjoyed this stream and this video, and see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.